So this is the new Fire TV 4K streaming stick. It sleekly hides behind your TV, and just like before, it promises to give you a premium television experience for just 50 bucks. These have been around for a while, but are they now better than ever? I'm Titus, this is The Search for Awesome, and today we are checking out the new Fire TV 4K stick. The design isn't really notable, but it doesn't need to be. Along with the stick, you get a power cable, a new remote, more on that later, and an HDMI extender. It is a little bit larger than I expected for this stick. If your TV is a little too discreet to fit this, they do have that HDMI dongle you can use for a more out-of-the-way floppy option. And there is an Ethernet adapter you can purchase separately if your router is a little bit lacking. It's like 15 bucks. It also supports Dolby Vision and HDR10+, so you should be pretty much covered for any HDR TV you might have, and it also supports Dolby Atmos if your audio setup supports that. The UI is nice, it's dark, which is really nice on the TV, and it's pretty easy to navigate. They've used this design for a while now, and although it has aged pretty well, I wouldn't mind seeing Amazon take another shot at this design. I've used the previous Fire TV, that pendant designed one, for a while now, and in terms of like performance, it's really tough to notice a difference between this new streaming stick and that old Fire TV. But I will note on the Amazon website, the processor on the new streaming stick is clocked at 1.7 gigahertz. Although this processor is nameless, that should mean that this new Fire streaming stick should perform better than the old Fire TV. In fact, according to Lon from Lon.tv, he did some tests comparing the Fire TV, this new streaming stick, and the new Fire TV Cube, and he actually found that this new streaming stick outperformed all of them in terms of just raw performance. So I pulled up Crossy Road just to see how it performed, and it's actually playable. This is pretty surprising because on the previous Fire, okay, here we go. It's starting to lag a little bit. Oh gosh, and I'm dead because of it. I guess from that experience, I would say that this is probably okay for some light gaming, but again, I don't think this is gonna run Crysis. I personally didn't notice that much of a difference in terms of speed compared to my previous pendant designed Fire TV. Everything kind of loaded about as I'd expect, pretty fast. But where you might notice some of that extra horsepower that this streaming stick is packing is like if you're using like a DVR setup with like Plex or HD Home Run. Oh, and I have the Amazon Fire Recast on the way when it comes out in a week. It's like a DVR solution that you can just plug an antenna into and you can just record channels off that. This seems potentially really good for cord cutters, so please subscribe if you're interested in that, and I'll have that video out as soon as I can. But I will say it is really cool that you're basically getting the best Fire TV experience for just 50 bucks. But I also will say the Fire TV does seem to favor Prime Video content over the competition like Netflix or Hulu. And I will say it is missing a feature that I have long loved in Roku's. It's a feature that allows the TV to beam the audio from whatever you're watching to your phone, so you can plug headphones in and get like a nice private listening experience. It's really great for like when your family is asleep upstairs, or you get up early in the morning and you want to work out, but you want to watch something without waking the whole house up. But this feature still hasn't made its way to Fire TVs, and that's a bummer. The main reason I wanted this new Fire unit was because the new remote. The remote is a little smaller than the original, and although Roku beat them to this idea, this remote can now control your television. You can turn on your TV, you can change the volume, and it is really nice. In fact, even if I turn on the TV with my remote, it's smart enough to know to switch the TV to whatever input my Amazon Fire is plugged into. You can even hook it up to your existing surround sound setup and control the volume directly on your sound receiver if you have one of those. In fact, the whole setup process was really simple. Within a few minutes, you're up and running. And super convenient if you bought the Fire Stick through Amazon, it actually knows your Amazon account. So that's one less thing you have to do while you're setting things up. But I do wish that Amazon took this a step further, where it remembered like my other accounts that I logged into, because I hate going through that password reset rodeo I have to go through because I have tons of accounts that I've had forever and I can never remember the password to them. I was already really excited about this remote, but today I actually found out that this remote has some functionality I didn't realize that it actually had. So just following the menu for a few seconds, I got the Xbox set up to the Fire TV. So let's see if it'll let me switch. Switch to Xbox. And there it is. And if I press home, it'll take me back to the Fire TV. I thought there was a way to use this like a universal remote, but all I've been able to do is actually enable it to switch to different inputs, like to my Xbox or my Blu-ray player in this case. But I haven't been able to actually use this remote to control those devices, so that's a little bit of a bummer. Still a really cool feature, but Amazon, can you make this a universal remote? It's got the IR sensor, I don't know. Seems possible. Another thing I will note is I do run into bugs on some Amazon Fire TVs from time to time. It's mostly with the less popular apps, the ones that aren't as frequently updated. Like for instance, this time when I was trying to log into my wife's Daily Burn account, it wouldn't let me navigate it properly. It was a little bit of an exercise trying to get logged in. But in all fairness, that's also an issue on Roku devices. They have plenty of apps as well that aren't super popular that you might run into some issues with. Play 24.
Getting 24 from Prime Video.
Oh cool, this one is actually just gonna start playing, I guess because it knew where I left off. Pause. Rewind 2 minutes and 25 seconds. And there it goes, it actually did it. Exactly 2 minutes, 25 seconds. That is a really cool feature. Open YouTube. So what I will say about the YouTube app is it's not actually the official YouTube app. It's kind of like a website that's designed for your TV. It does work well enough though. And one thing that is a bummer because this isn't an official YouTube app is you can't do something like this. Play cat videos on YouTube.
Web videos are not currently supported on this device.
Yeah, and keep in mind you don't just need to use the remote to control the Fire TV with your voice, you can also use an Echo device. And you just have to link the two devices in your Alexa app on like a phone or something. So should you get this or a comparable Roku? That's a pretty tough question. If you're just buying this to stream like Netflix and Hulu and like whatever other streaming service, I think you'll be happy with whichever. They're both really great. But if you use like the Amazon Voice Lady, you know, like on the Echo devices, then you might actually be happier with the Fire TV because you can actually control the Fire TV with your Echo. But apparently now Roku has Google Assistant built into their devices, so if you're going the Google route, maybe you'll prefer the Roku. In the end, I think that this new Fire TV streaming stick is just an excellent value at just 50 bucks. That new remote alone for me was worth the upgrade. But I will say they do offer the remote as a separate purchase for just 30 bucks if you're happy with your current Fire TV. But if you're gonna spend 30 bucks, then why not just spend another $20 and upgrade the Fire TV while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or if you want to give your thoughts on the whole thing. My next video will be up soon, and it's about a product that is really weird, but I think you'll like it. Please subscribe so you don't miss it. And maybe if you like this video, drop a like while you're here. Thanks again, and I guess I will see you next time when the search for awesome continues.